Foxtrot Bravo Bravo, pull up and go around.
Go around, Foxtrot Bravo Bravo.
Tower India Echo Lima, downwind 13, touch and go.
India Echo Lima number 3, follow Cessna left base, turning 1 mile final.
India Echo Lima.
Foxtrot Bravo Bravo Tower, fly runway heading.
Fly runway heading, Foxtrot Bravo Bravo.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land runway 13.
Charlie Zulu November, clear to land 13.
Zulu Sierra Alpha, change of plans, crossover midfield, join right downwind runway 13.
Zulu Sierra Alpha, crossover midfield, join the right downwind for 13.
Greetings, everyone. We are sitting here at the ramp at Prince Rupert in British Columbia. British Columbia on the west coast is located on the west coast of Canada, northwest coast, Pacific Northwest to be exact. And Prince Rupert, I'll show you on the map where Prince Rupert is, and we're going to be flying today from Prince Rupert to Ketchikan, Alaska in the Icon-A5, basically because there's a lot of water we're going to be flying around, and we may want to do a landing in one or two places. So I'll show you on the map where Prince Rupert is. Let's just get that map over. Okay, that should be the map view now. So that's the flight that we're taking today. It's about 1 hour and 15-minute flight, and I'll be leaving from Prince Rupert, and that's the Prince Rupert Airport right there. And we'll be going a little bit south, and then just a little bit east, and then we start heading north up over this area of western British Columbia. We'll come to Fort Simpson, and then from Fort Simpson we will head west, and we'll be coming, and we'll make a landing right here at Green Island Lighthouse. It's quite a nice little, very small island with a lighthouse and a nice dock. So we'll land there, and then refuel or whatever we want to do, grab a coffee, and then be on our way. And we'll head northwest up to, we'll cross the international border and be flying in the United States. And we'll cross over here at Annette Island. And this is a site of a Pan American flight that crashed, and we'll hear all about that on our flight. We'll just cross over that area. The little nav map keeps bringing me back to where the aircraft position is. And then after we cross over to the Annette VOR, we will head almost due north up into Ketchikan. And winds are right now 253 at 2 knots. So they're not very heavy winds. So what we'll do is we'll come up here, we'll land on runway 11. We'll come up here, we'll fly like a left-hand downwind and come in to runway 11. So that is the plan for today. And it should take us about 1 hour and 15 minutes. I have already checked the exterior of the aircraft, and everything is good. Get back to the aircraft. Everything is good on the aircraft on the outside, and we'll just go inside now and do a pre-flight test. It's a nice day today for flying. There's just a few clouds. So let's get in and go through our checklist. I've already filed a flight plan for an estimated time of departure of 19:45, which gives us about 4 more minutes. We're going to be taking off here on runway 13. This is all Echo airspace in this area. And we're flying VFR, so there's no need to contact air traffic control, but in fact there is no air traffic control because no one is on duty today. I'll just check to make sure what I'm saying is correct. Yeah, no one's on duty today, so there is no air traffic control. So we'll use the CTAF or Unicom frequency. Alright, let's get going. Parking brake is set. Water rudders let's see, our water rudder should be up because we are on land. Master battery needs to be turned on. The annunciator panels should be lit up, and we'll just do a test, make sure they all light up. Okay, that all looks good. Cabin lights, I like to have the cabin lights on even though we really don't need lighting inside today because it's a nice sunny day. And while we're up here, we need to turn the fuel valve on. So the fuel valve is on, and we can get ready to start. We'll turn our strobes on, and our nav lights can come on. Throttle we need to crack to about 1/2 inch. And we will start the ignition. We have a good start. Water temperatures are good. Temperature pressures are good. We can turn our taxi lights on. Altimeter has been set to the field elevation. Controls are good. Controls are good. Need to turn our avionics on is what we need to do. Okay, so we've got I haven't flown this thing for maybe 6 months. Hope I can remember how to fly it. I'm just looking at my checklist here to see where we're at. Okay, so where is our... Okay, this is silly. Where's our avionics? Where's our avionics master? Why am I not seeing my avionics master? There we are. Alright, now we've got avionics on. Okay. We want to set the transponder to 1200. And we'll put it on altitude reporting. We've set our comm frequency to 122.8. Okay, I'm just checking my checklist. Everything looks good there. Engine instruments are good. Flaps, we should just cycle them to make sure they work okay. Which they do. And we do not need flaps for this takeoff. Water rudders are up. Okay, that looks good. Alright, let's taxi out to runway 13. Oh, one thing I'd like to do is turn on the push talk radio. Just get signed
Prince
in.
Rupert Airport is an airport located 5.0
This is
nautical
Prince
miles
Rupert.
west-southwest of Prince Rupert, British Columbia, Canada. The airport is classified as an airport of entry by NAV Canada and is staffed by the Canada Border Services Agency. CBSA officers at this airport can handle general aviation aircraft only, with no more than 50 passengers. The airport is located
Okay, while
on
she's
Bigby
telling us
Island,
about
which is
Prince
only
Rupert, we'll
accessible from the
taxi out
city
to
of Prince
runway
Rupert by
13.
ferry. The passenger ferry fare is included in airline tickets.
The elevations on this airport are very erratic. They're all over the place. They're up and down. There's hills, there's dips. Very uneven. Before we get out onto the runway, let's just make a radio call. Prince Rupert traffic, Icon-A5 Delta Echo Whiskey. Backtracking on runway 13. Prince Rupert. Just switch this over to the full screen. I prefer the full screen. Okay. This aircraft I'm not that used to. What I found, the ground handling is very, very delicate. When you're making a turn in this aircraft on the ground, You really got to be going slow, otherwise you will tip over. That has happened to me before. Oh, hold on just a second. We are going in the wrong direction. Whoops, slow down, slow down, slow down. Here I am talking away and not really paying attention. Need to be going to the threshold of 1-3. I mean, we could have taken off on 3-1 because the winds are only 2 knots. But I prefer to take off on 1-3, and that'll just head us in the direction of where we're going today. We'll have right crosswind as we take off. Yeah, when we came out of that taxi strip there, we could have just made a right turn and we'd be right at the threshold. Slow down, slow down. I don't want to tip over. Alright, we are at the threshold of 1-3. All systems have been checked. Everything looks good. I would say we are ready to go. Let's turn our landing lights on. Taxi lights can come off. I'm going to rotate at 50 knots. Landing gear will come up. And our initial climb out will be 60 knots. Okay, folks, here we go. Full throttle. Release the brakes. And can you try to keep it on the center line? Got a right crosswind happening. We're at 60 knots, we better rotate. Okay, we are up. Landing gear is coming up. Just need a little bit of up trim. Wonder if we can turn the avionics up a little bit. Okay, we want to take up a heading of about 105. The island that Prince Rupert Airport is on is called Digby Island. The actual town of Prince Rupert is right over here. So just going down to the southern tip of Digby Island. I'm going to go off to the right a bit so you can have a better view of the island. So there's the southern tip of Digby Island. I'm going to turn
Barrett
east.
Point is located at the foot of Mount Hayes at the entrance to Prince Rupert Harbour. It was a coastal fortification
This
during
is the
World
Prince
War
Rupert
II.
Harbour.
The battery was the key component of the defences of Prince Rupert. The guns were manned by the Northern British Columbia Heavy Battery, Royal Canadian Artillery, later designated the 102nd Coast Battery of the 17th North British Columbia Coast Regiment. It's unclear as to when the battery ceased operations
Hope all
as
my
war progressed and the
sounds
threat
are
of attack
working.
diminished.
Last time
The soldiers manning the defenses were drawn down
flew
to
on
serve elsewhere.
a live
It
stream.
would appear the guns were removed sometime between
I found out that
1945 and the end of 1946.
Sound
The
was
last
not
coastal
working.
defences along the west
We're gonna
coast of
level off
Canada at Fort Rod Hill were disbanded in
here
1948.
at
Much of the battery
2,500.
fortifications are overgrown but can be seen on foot. Caution is advised as there are unmarked openings and entering the bunker should only be done with the proper equipment.
So we're going to be heading up to the Prince Rupert train station, and then we'll go a little bit to the east to the City Hall. There's an information on the City Hall of Prince Rupert. It is a beautiful day here in British Columbia. There's the airport down there. I will show you on the map quickly. There we are there. And there's where the train station is, right down in here. There'll be an audio tour about that as well. And the Prince Rupert.
Prince Rupert Station is on the Canadian National Railway
There it
main line
is.
in Prince Rupert, British Columbia. The station is the western terminus for the Via Rail's Jasper, Prince Rupert train. The station building was designed by the Corner Architectural Division in Winnipeg and constructed between 1921 and 1922 in a modern classical style adjacent to the waterfront. The station was declared a National Historic Site in 1992. Services include car rental, telephones, vending machines and washrooms. Accessible services available at this station upon departure and arrival. The entrance to the train station is accessible by wheelchair. The platform is accessible by
And that's the
wheelchair.
mainland of British
A
Columbia.
wheelchair lift is available. A courtesy wheelchair is available to assist you
Can't
in
really
boarding
see
wheelchair
behind us.
access to station, ticket office, washrooms
And we
and
want to
trains.
take up a heading
Also
of about
available,
327
wheelchair and
degrees.
wheelchair lift. Service Animal Relief Area. This station is equipped with a Service Animal Relief Area, a quiet place where service animals can relieve themselves, which is essential before and after a train journey with their owners. The Service Animal Relief Area is located close to the electric post behind
There's
the
a
statue.
seaplane. There's a seaplane base right here. So we now have about a 14, maybe about a 12 nautical mile flight on this trajectory. And this is the mainland of British Columbia. Beautiful British Columbia. We're actually clipping along at 100 knots, which is kind of in the yellow. We should pull it back a little bit. Keep it at about 95 knots maybe. That island out there is called Dundas Island, also known as Melville Island. And this one right up here is called Dunera Island. Fort Simpson is coming up right here is Fort Simpson. At that point we will make a westerly turn and go over to Gill's seaplane base. This Green Island Lighthouse, that's the GILS. You will hear some information about Fort Simpson in a few moments. A great day. British Columbia, the government of British Columbia has labeled this province, they call it beautiful British Columbia because it truly is a beautiful part of the world. With its hills, its snow peaks, the abundance of water, and I don't mean just the water from the ocean, but the lakes and streams and rivers, the salmon fishing. There's just so much here that it's quite incredible. So I'd say in about 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes, we should be hearing about Fort Simpson. And then we'll take a turn to the left to go westbound, about 260 degrees. I still should reduce my power. I'm really going too fast, over speeding. And I should actually have turned off my landing lights. I forgot to do that. Turn those off right now. And let's get it back to 95 knots. Yeah, we're about 4 nautical miles from Fort Simpson, which is right in this area, right along the coast here. Down there is a highway. I'll just zoom out with the binoculars. There's a highway coming from the south, going up, going northward. Now we should stay to the west of this peak right here, because we're only at 1,500 feet is what we've come down to. I think we'll gain a little bit more altitude than where we're at. And this is Fort Simpson, right here. It's now known as Lac Qualams, which is an indigenous name. We're close to the hill, but we're not on it, so we're good.
Fort Simpson was a fur trading post established in 1831 by the Hudson's Bay Company near the mouth of the Nass River in present-day British Columbia, Canada. In 1834, it was moved to the Tsimshian Peninsula, about halfway between the Nass River and the Skeena
This
River,
is
and was
Finlayson
later
Island
referred to as Fort
down
Simpson,
here.
or as the native name, Lax Qualoms. The fort was part of the HBC's Columbia Department. Population is 1,202 according to the 2016 census, a decrease of 2.9% from 2011, and 890 identified as indigenous peoples. Of these, the majority, 770, of the residents are First Nations, with 95 Métis and 20 Inuit. The main languages are South Slavey and English. In 2017, the government of the Northwest Territories reported that the population was 1,174, with an average yearly growth rate of -0.5% from 2007.
So, that was a little bit of information on Fort Simpson. So what we're looking at way off in the distance over here is Dundas Island. And just before we get to Dundas Island, right there's a tiny island with a lighthouse on it. We're gonna make a landing in there on the westerly approach, 280 degrees. So we are at 2,500. We need to lose some altitude and prepare for Gills Island Lighthouse, Icon-A5 Delta Echo Whiskey at 2,500 feet. We're about 5 nautical miles, depending on runway 28, the westerly sea base landing, Gills Island. Turn our landing lights. My checklist just died on me. Oh well, isn't that something? That's okay. Turn our landing lights on. We'll put our flaps down. That's where we're going, right over there. We're at 1,500 feet. Put in 1 notch of flaps. Looks like I got my checklist back. What we want to do when we land this Icon-A5 in water, we want to try and get the AOA on that yellow line right there. At touchdown. That's a better view there. Alright, we're at 1,000 feet. Put in the last notch of flaps. Gills Island Lighthouse traffic. Icon-A5 Delta Echo Whiskey on final for seaplane approach runway 28. Gills Island traffic. Okay, I've got full flaps. We want to be about 70. We should be a little bit higher speed. Where are we at? We're at 60. No, that should be okay. 60 is good. We're at 55 knots. There's the lighthouse. You can see the lighthouse there. Five hundred feet. We're at about 400 now. Coming in. A little bit of a ripple on the water today. We're about 50 feet above the water. Hold it off, get that AOA up to about the yellow line. Right about there. There we are. Need to put our water rudders down. Okay, we're just going to make a turn back to the island. Gills Island traffic. Icon-A5 Delta Echo Whiskey is clear of the runway 28. Gills Island. Okay, that was uneventful. Seemed to work okay. Seems to me there was a flag somewhere here. Canadian flag. And the dock was here somewhere. But I'm not... Oh, there's the dock. There's the dock over there. Oh, there's the flag up there. Okay. So my memory was right. Let's just get a little closer to the dock. It's a nice little island. Flag is flying. There's the lighthouse. There's the dock. Looks like there's a chimney going. You can see smoke at the background. Beautiful little island. Well, we'll get ready for our takeoff and continue to Ketchikan, Alaska. Get your passports out because we are going to be crossing into the United States from Canada. Alright, we'll just head out. Gills Island Lighthouse traffic, Icon-A5 Delta Echo Whiskey, is back taxiing for runway 28 departure. Gills Island traffic. Alright, let's let me just see what this is over here. Oh, there's a windsock right there. Didn't notice that before. Oh, we're going to have a bit of a right crosswind, but that's okay. Just getting out to give ourselves a proper run. So for the takeoff on water, we want flap set at 30. And the water rudder's down. Just checking just checking my checklist. Right, let's get this baby turned around to 280 degrees. Out a little bit past the island. Okay, this should be good. And we're going to be taking off over this bit of land here. So let's get ourselves ready. We're into a heading of 280 degrees. Gills Island traffic, Icon-A5 Delta Echo Whiskey, taking off runway 28, Gills Island. Okay, off we go. We are up. And retract our water rudders. Pull back 15 degrees of flaps. And we want to be on a heading of about 300 degrees. Which is about where we are, 305 degrees. We're up to 1,000 feet. We'll pull back all the flaps now. So this is the tip of Dundas Island. All looks good. Feet. Now we're going to have to increase our altitude. I'll show you on the map. We're going out to this point right here. And we need to be probably at about 3,500 feet. Let me just have a look at my map. Yeah, that's... Yeah, we might be okay. Might be okay at about 3,000 feet. Which is where we are now. A little bit hazy at 3,000 feet right here. Put our nose down a bit, gain some airspeed. Alright, we're going to stop at 4,000 feet. Let's get some airspeed going here. 4,500. Looking good. Okay, we don't want to be at 5,000, so let's stop that right now. And we do not want to be above the clouds, so we need to get down a little bit lower. RPM is too high. We'll reduce our RPMs. We're hanging in at about 95 knots. We can reduce our RPMs and get down below these clouds. Because we are VFR. So we're just scooting by this bank of clouds right here. And that bank of clouds right there. Come down to about 4,000 feet before we reach those clouds up ahead. So we're at 4,000 feet. See what's happening with our airspeed is 95 knots. Coming down to 3,500 feet. That should put us below those clouds. Yeah, we should be good at 3,500 feet. Yeah, like I said, when we reach that island up ahead of us there, this is Duke Island right here, the flat one, but the one behind is where we will be heading to, and that's Annette Island. That's where the Pan American flight crashed. You'll hear all about that on the audio. How's the clouds? Yeah, we're good. We're hanging at 3,000 feet. There's a VOR on Annette Island. It's just off here to the left. Not that we really need it, but Yeah, we should hang in at 3,000 feet. I'm just checking the map to see where. Yeah, we're actually in American airspace. There is no airspace right here. Someone just joined. Hey, greetings, Downwind Sim. Good to see you. Took off from Prince Rupert, British Columbia, and we're heading to Ketchikan. I'll just show you on the map. We're going through a little bit of haze right now, but that's okay. We took off from Prince Rupert. Did this sweep to the south. This is all in British Columbia. Headed north up to Fort Simpson, which is British Columbia. And then we went westbound and we landed at a seaplane base, which is the Green Island Lighthouse. We did a little bit of cruising around the waters there, and then we took off from there, which is where we are right now, and we are heading to Annette Island, which we've crossed the US border, so we are now officially in United States airspace, although there is no airspace here. The only airspace will be in Ketchikan, and it's a Class Echo airspace. But there are no controllers on today, so good. Right here, there's a site of a Pan American aircraft accident many years ago, and there's an audio tour that you'll hear about that. So as soon as we get closer to that, we'll hear that. So let's head back to the cockpit. So we're in the Icon-A5 only because there's so much water around us that we took advantage of landing in a lot of the water areas. Icon-A5 is a nice flying aircraft, but it sure is slow. It's really slow. I've got it, I'm pushing it at, what am I at now, about 95, 97 knots. I actually shouldn't be that. I'm in the yellow zone, I should back off a bit. Yeah, it does look like a flying fish, doesn't it? Yeah. It's a pretty cool looking airplane actually, and it's easy to fly. Got the FADEC computer system, which makes it easy to control. It's all automated. There's no mixer control. All there is the throttle. And that's because of the FADEC system. Same system that's in the new Citation CJ4. It's a FADEC system. Okay, we're at 3,500. We're about 97 knots. No, yeah, 97 knots. Kind of pushing it a little, but I want to get up to this Annette Island a little quicker than we are. We're coming up to Duke Island, right over here. And that large bit of geography over there is Annette Island. And that Pan American crash was right about here, which we will be flying by. There's a BOR just over here to the west, which I'm tuned into, but I'm really not using it. So 3,500, 97 knots. All is good in paradise. Oh, I forgot to turn my landing lights off. I will take those off. Nav lights are on, strobe lights are on, water rudders are up. All is good. Okay. Did you get my message? I left you on your Discord, downwind. No, I haven't looked at your recent one, no. I have not looked at it. Maybe I can quickly look at it. Oh, I see. Okay, so I don't necessarily have to fly, so because that timing wouldn't work for me. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind doing a bit of a recording. I'm not sure when we would do it or how we'd do that, but we can definitely talk about that. Oh, we got some clouds up here. I'm not paying attention. Let's lose some altitude and go off to the right a bit. I was not paying attention. Sure, we could try that. Yep. Okay, where am I at? I'm at 3,000 feet. Just getting away from this little misty cloud here. That's Duke Island off our wingtip. Alright, let's get back on course. Down to about 2,800 feet. Definitely too low for that peak. So we need to push our throttles up and get some altitude going. RPMs are in the yellow. We better pull it back a little bit. There we go. So when we reach that peak, and we hear about the Pan Am crash, we will head west of 250 degrees, basically over to the VOR. Yeah, I just tuned in the VOR to 252 degree radial, so. Okay, 3,400. That might be okay at this height. We got about 6 nautical miles to go to reach the peak. 3,500. All is good. 3,700. Okay, we can down a bit. Downwind, tell me, is my sound okay? Is it too loud? Is it too soft? Because the last time I had trouble. Oh, great. Okay. Thank you. Awesome. Nice to be on the money. Okay, we don't want to smash into that peak. So we're going to be turning just before the peak. There's a little body of water, a little pond right at the base of the peak. And we'll head west from there. And this is where the Pan Am crash occurred, right on this peak. Let's hope I've got my Bush Talk radio working. Yes, I seem to. Seem to have it on. So we should get an audio. You'll hear all about it in a few minutes on the audio. Oh, that's good. You're putting a script together, because I wondered what I was going to talk about. Great. Okay, the audio should start any moment now. I don't want to go below 3,000 feet, so. There's that little pond down at the base of the mountain. So we're going to head west from there. Okay, the audio should start. Let's hear it. Come on. Maybe I can force it to start. There we go.
Pan Am Flight 923 was a Douglas DC-4 operating from Seattle, Washington to Juneau, Alaska, which crashed into Tangas Mountain on Annette Island, Alaska, on October 26, 1947. All 18 passengers and crew members on board were killed. The crash was the worst in Alaskan commercial aviation at the time, as well as the first crash of a Pan American 4-engine aircraft. An investigation by the Civil Aeronautics Board was unable to determine probable cause, and it remains unknown to this day. Up until recently, people climbing the mountain could still find pieces of the wreckage and metal from the flight, but the crash had another legacy to the southern southeast region. It led to the creation of the Ketchikan Volunteer Rescue Squad, an organization that has saved hundreds of people in the decades since.
So there we go. Now I'm curious, what was the volume like on that broadcast? Have you ever used bush talk radio in your bush flights? Volume was good. Awesome. Good to hear. 'Cause I never know. It sounded really low in my headphones. I don't know if it's MSFS only. I'm not sure. I am not sure. Okay, we are getting close to making a northern run. Let's have a look at the map. Okay, so there we are heading across the west. There's the Annette VOR. There's the Annette Island Airport. And then we're going to head north up to Ketchikan. We're going to make a left downwind approach and swing in here and come in on runway 11. Alright, let's get back to the airplane. Okay, I'm going through some misty clouds here. The airport is right over there. It's two runways. Kind of the north-south and the east-west. Let's get away from this cloud. And I'm going to tune the VOR to the radial 326. Not that I'm actually following the VOR. I've tuned it to 326. And I'll change my heading bug to 326. Okay, we're getting close to the end. "3,000 feet, 80 knots, that's way too slow. I've never landed at that airport, actually. Annette Island. Papa Alpha Nancy Tango. Alright, let's turn to 326. Knots, which is way too fast for this little flying duck. Thousand feet. Hold it at that. And we better reduce our speed. There we go. 95. So this is all a net island over here to the right. Net Island, Alaska. And what's the name of this island on the left? Let me have a look at the map. It's called Gravinel. How to pronounce that? Gravina. Gravina Island? Huh. Okay. That's that thing right there. And Ketchikan. Let's see, I'm just looking at the map here. There's, let's get the binoculars and zoom out a little bit. Okay, so there's that opening there, which is the southern side of Gravina Island. And on the northern side of it, which looks like it's right up here, and that's where Ketchikan is. You should, Downwind, you should Google what's it called? Bush Talk Radio. Bush Talk is all one word. Bush Talk Radio. And see if it works with X-Plane. Because I really don't know. Let me just check, see if there's any air traffic controllers on. Nope, there's no ATC on. Oh, that's too bad. It really is nice. There's information about areas all over the entire world. It's absolutely incredible. Okay, so that looks like the airport up ahead. So we're gonna enter the left downwind, like on a 45 degree, and then go downwind. Make a left base and left final. Runway 11. I'll make a radio call in. Ketchikan traffic. Icon-A5 Delta Echo Whiskey. 2,500, about 7 or 8 nautical miles southeast. Approaching for a left downwind for runway 11, Ketchikan. What's the altitude here? Altitude is 92 feet. Okay. There is also, as we're on the downwind, I think you'll hear some audio tour information about Ward Cove. There's a cove in here called Ward Cove. I'm just looking at the map here and see what else there is. And there's, as we turn final, there's a Guard Island lighthouse that there's some audio information on that you'll hear. I think we better lose some altitude here. So we want down to about 1,500 right here. Okay, let's hold it right there. 1,200 feet. .95 knots. Ketchikan traffic. Icon-A5 Delta Echo Whiskey. About to turn on left downwind for runway 11 on a 45 degree for the downwind. Ketchikan. Nice day in Alaska. Lovely day. Okay, let's keep it at 1,000.
CUBT, Virtual and VHF Digital Channel 13, is a CBS-affiliated television station licensed to Ketchikan, Alaska, United States. Owned by Gray Television, it is operated as a full-time satellite of Juno-licensed KX LD. CUBT's transmitter
Well, I
is
wasn't
located
expecting
in
that
downtown
audio.
Ketchikan. On cable, CUBT is available on Channel 4 on GCI and KPU Vision, the latter of which is owned by the city of Ketchikan. The station went on the air April 1, 1995 as Net TV, operating on analog Channel 4. It became CUBT in 1998. Originally a TBN affiliate, the station switched to PAX, now Iron Television, when it launched in 1998 and joined CBS in 2000. It continued a secondary affiliation with PAX for some time after joining CBS. CUBT launched their digital signal in early 2006 on Channel 13. CUBT stayed on Channel 13 when the digital switchover took place in 2009. On December 9,
Kind of a tight
2013,
downwind here.
Ketchikan Television filed to sell CUBT, along with
Because of those
KTNL
hills
TV in Sitka and
on our right.
KXLJ-LD in Juneau, to Denali Media Holdings, a subsidiary of local
There's also a
cable provider
seaplane
GCI.
base somewhere on the approach. Right in here, there's a seaplane base. Better pay attention to what I'm doing. Oh yeah, this plane has wheels. We're gonna use them. We're gonna land on the runway. We're gonna do an extended downwind so that we can hear the audio on Ward Cove and there's actually a lot to hear on here. I'm just looking at the Bush Talk radio map. Ward Cove, Totem Bright State Historical, Guard Lighthouse. Okay. Ketchikan traffic, Icon-A5 Delta Echo Whiskey. We're going to be on an extended downwind out to the Guard Island Lighthouse. Then we'll turn final. Ketchikan. Why am I not hearing the audio? Whoops, I'm not paying
is a bay
attention.
in the U.S. state of Alaska. It is situated about 5 miles to the
that'll
westward of
teach me
Ketchikan
to-
off the western coast of New Village Island within the
That'll
Alexander
teach me to
Archipelago.
be looking somewhere
The town
else.
of Ward Cove is located on the waterway. It is a small bay on the northern shore of Tongass Narrows. Ward Cove stream empties into the head of the cove and is the outlet to a chain of lakes. It flows in a fairly straight course in a southerly direction over rocky bottom, with a rapid current throughout its
Yeah,
length,
this is Ward
between
Cove
high
right
bluff
here.
banks well wooded. Tide water extends a short distance within the mouth. The stream water is fairly clear. It is about 0.75 miles long and 300 feet below the lake, has a width of 20 feet and a depth of 0.75 feet, and a 3-knot current. The north shore of the cove was formerly home to the Ketchikan Pulp Company pulp mill, which was built in 1957 to process timber from the Tongass National Forest into wood pulp. The mill was closed in 1997 and has largely been demolished. As of 2013, the site was being redeveloped into an industrial park, including a boatyard and the headquarters for the Alaska Marine Highway.
There we are. That's Ward Cove. I think we should start thinking about turning onto a base. You know, I get distracted sometimes looking at maps on the other monitor. and I don't pay attention to what the aircraft is doing. And for some reason, I have a tendency to keep too much pressure on the rudder pedals. And I'm trying to break myself away from that habit. Before I know it, I'm in trouble. Ketchikan traffic, Icon-A5 Delta Echo Whiskey turning base, left base for runway 11, Ketchikan. Put in 1 notch of flaps. Yeah, we're definitely on a long final.
The Guard Island Light is a lighthouse on a small island near the entrance to the Tongass Narrows, in Clarence Strait in southeastern Alaska. The western entrance to the Bem Canal also lies nearby. The lighthouse location was prioritized 6th in a 1901 study of 15 Alaska proposed sites. It would assist shipping along southeast Alaska's Inside Passage, at the north end of the Tongass Narrows, one of the more difficult passages along the route of Klondike Gold Rush-related shipping to Juneau and to Skagway. The lighthouse was listed as a historic district on the National Register of Historic Places in 2004. The listing includes 1 contributing building, 1 contributing structure, and 1 contributing site on a 10.4-acre.
Ketchikan traffic, Icon-A5 Delta Echo Whiskey on about a 5 or 6 mile final for runway 11, Ketchikan. Yeah, we're pretty far out, so I'm gonna keep it at about 1,000 feet for now. Gradually reduce the altitude. Actually an ILS into this runway, but I'm certainly not using it. What are we at? About 900 feet now. About 85 knots. Got 1 notch of flaps. Put in the 2nd notch as we get a little closer. We are now at about 600 feet. Yep, steady as she goes is right. I'm gonna have a, let's see, gonna have a right crosswind. About 5 knots. time to think about second notch of flaps. Landing gear is down. Landing light is on. Flaps are at 30 degrees. Reduce the power. Line up with the center line. Five hundred. Curious what my FPS is right here. Let me just check it. 66, 65. That's pretty good. Okay, let's get lined up. Got about 200 feet to go, or 150 feet to go. We're at 65 knots. Okay, let's pull the power and glide down and start our flare about now. Not quite on the center line, but that's okay. Now I'm on it. There we are. Welcome to Ketchikan Airport. Thank you. There's no taxi strips here. It's just simply a get off the runway deal here. Ketchikan traffic, Icon-A5 Delta Echo Whiskey is clear of runway 11, heading to the terminal, Ketchikan. Okay, let's just park this baby somewhere over here. I don't know if that's a CJ4. I've just been learning how to fly the CJ4 past 3 weeks. No, I don't think that's a CJ4. Looks like it though. Okay, what am I doing? Let's just park somewhere here. Problem with this airplane is when it's on the ground, if you turn too quickly, it will tip over. You've got to be really at a slow speed. I'm gonna park right beside this aircraft here. Okay, this should do it. Okay, parking brakes on. Oops. Flaps retracted. Landing lights off. Never did have the taxi lights on. Water rudders are up. We can shut this thing down. There, she's shut down. And let's turn off the strobes, the nav lights, and turn off the master. That was 1 hour and 13 minutes. I thought it would be about an hour and 15, so that was good. That was good. Dinging like a car. Yeah, it is, isn't it? You know, when you forget to put your seat belts on, car always reminds you. So, we are finished our flight. Thank you very much, Downwind, for joining me. as far as yeah, that's probably the best thing to do is call me on Discord. And being new to all of this sort of thing, I'm not even sure how that works, but I guess I go to your... Do I go to your channel on Discord? Is that how it works? I'm not sure how it works. So, for instance, let me just bring this in. Let me bring this into view here. So, why am I not seeing her? Okay, just go to Discord. It will ring. Okay, give me a few minutes. I just gotta go. Go to the bathroom before I start chatting. So, just give me about 5 minutes. And am I on the right screen right here? I guess I must be. Or do I need to go into... Okay, good. All right, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna shut down the simulator. Let me get rid of little nav map. And let me shut down the simulator. It's gone, bye-byes. And get rid of Bush Talk Radio. And I'm gonna stop the recording now, and give me 5 minutes and I'll be on Discord. Thanks very much.